were counting how many months it was going to take to be a world champion in the UFC. But like Dana White said in the hospital, he says, yeah, you achieve world status, people are going to recognize you, but not the way you want it.
Thank you so much, Corey Hill. Instead of you being blessed, you blessed us. Thank you.
Surprise, surprise! The king is back!
Born on October 3, 1978 in Jonesville, Florida, Corey Hill grew up with a love for sports and competition. His natural athleticism and drive found their perfect outlet in wrestling, where he quickly excelled. A standout performer in high school, Hill earned a scholarship to Colby Community College in Kansas, where he honed his skills on the mat. Hill's wrestling background would later become the cornerstone of his mixed martial arts career, providing him with the grappling foundation necessary to compete at the highest levels. When Corey Hill decided to apply for the Ultimate Fighter 5, he had only one professional MMA fight on his record. Despite his lack of experience, Hill believed his wrestling foundation, combined with his unique physical attributes, standing at 6'4" in the lightweight division, gave him the potential to compete with more seasoned fighters.
So here's the thing about Corey Hill. He lied to get on the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, he didn't have any fights. He said that he was like 5-0, and then somehow he got on. I became pretty close to him when he was training with us. He'd be like, I need a partner, and no one would want to go with him. Because he was crazy athletic. He was like 6'6", 155 pounds. So no one would ever train with him.
The Ultimate Fighter was an opportunity to bypass the slow grind of regional circuits and immediately test himself against some of the best up-and-coming talent in the world. Hill's self-confidence was a defining characteristic. Despite his inexperience, he believed he belonged on the biggest stage.
No one knows me, but everybody sees this 6'4", attractive guy, ripped up body, and they're just a little nervous.
We was teammates in college at wrestling. I was dating the one straight girl on the basketball team. Him and my girl hooked up. And me and him, we stayed friends. We was like really close friends. Yeah. And I just stopped talking to her. And I was walking down the hall one day and she saw me go into his room because they was right across. And she said, why you still friends with him and you not friends with me? I'm like, oh, because he ain't did nothing wrong. He told me.
Yeah.
You try to lie, make me look stupid. They don't understand that. You don't get mad at the guy, especially if he comes man to man and tell you, like, look here, man, I'm fucking your bitch.
No, I agree.
This confidence wasn't just bravado. It was rooted in his understanding of his work ethic and willingness to learn. He knew he had raw potential and was ready to put in the effort to refine his skills under the tutelage of some of the sport's top coaches.
I'll fight all of them.
The van ride home after we picked team was kind of intense.
Everybody was pumped, jumping around, talking shit.
Shut the f*** up, Gabe. I wanted to slap that motherfucker since day one.
At the time, the Ultimate Fighter was the most direct pathway to a UFC contract for aspiring fighters. The show not only provided a chance to compete for a lucrative contract, but also offered fighters exposure to millions of viewers. Hill saw this as a chance to jumpstart his career, make his name known, and gain invaluable experience by training alongside elite competitors and coaches.
He put that gold shirt on and he turned into DMX.
You know that there's cameras on you and you know that, you're going to be on TV, so you're going to be yourself, but on level 15. Corey and I were in the hot tub the day before the team picks, and he's like, you and Joe and Matt, you're the guys I respect the most because you're already in the UFC, and man, I respect you so much. I'm like, all right, cool, man. Yeah, we really, really cool. And then he put on the yellow shirt and he's getting in my face and barking. And as soon as the cameras were off us, he's like, yo, dog, that was just for the cameras. And I'm like, yo, man, like, I didn't know it was for the cameras. I thought we were going to fight.
The fight was called off.
I'm on course, following instructions, playing by the rules. Despite dudes not making weight, I still got to make weight again.
The cancellation forced a reshuffling of the tournament structure.
I'm not going to get in the ring and lay down for anyone. That's going to stop me. It's like they're trying to break me. They're trying to give Corey Hill a reason to quit. That is not happening.
Leading to Hill eventually being matched up against Nate Diaz. This unexpected twist added to Hill's already challenging journey, as it meant he had to prepare for a different opponent with a different skill set than he initially expected.
I'm gonna wing this one.
I'm going to win, You basically go out there, hit him. I'm going in there to whoop his ass, basically.
His eventual fight with Diaz was a tough test, and while Hill gave a strong showing, he ultimately lost via submission. The loss was a tough moment for Hill.
The oxygen ran out and it was like, hey, give it to him. Well-deserved win for Mr. Diaz.
But he handled it with grace and humility. He acknowledged his opponent's skill and vowed to continue improving. Though Corey Hill didn't win The Ultimate Fighter 5, his appearance on the show achieved exactly what he had hoped. He caught the attention of UFC executives, fans, and analysts, leading to a contract with the promotion. Hill's time on The Ultimate Fighter showcased his potential and set the stage for the next chapter of his career, proving that his decision to take a chance on himself was the right one. Hill made his UFC debut on January 23, 2008 at UFC Fight Night 12 against Joe Veres, ultimately finishing Veres with a barrage of strikes that forced the referee to stop the fight in the last minute of round 2. His height and unorthodox striking style posed challenges for opponents, and his willingness to learn and grow as a fighter became evident. However, Hill's time in the UFC was marked by a devastating injury.
For the third fight in, we won the first one, we lost to Buckholz. I'm out there, I remember all the nerves and the jitters. I honestly felt like we were doing awesome in the first round. And then all this potential and all this glory, all this possibility was shattered almost instantaneously.
On December 10, 2008, at UFC Fight Night 16, he faced Dale Hart. During the second round, Hill threw a leg kick that was checked by Hart, resulting in a catastrophic fracture of Hill's leg.
Right away, I kicked the guy, and I don't know if I said it, but it was like, my leg, something's wrong with my leg. It wasn't until I'm laying there, I'm on my back, and then I looked up at the jumbo screen, and, oh, is that my leg? Is this really happening to me? So it's like I go right directly to the emergency room, have the surgery. This has to be some type of dream. Really, this doesn't happen to people. No one told me that this was a possibility when I started. No one told me that things like this happen.
The injury, fractures to both the tibia and fibula in his right leg, was so severe that many believed his career was over.
It was fighting for the troops. I'm a big fan of anybody who puts their life on the line so we can walk around free. So I made a comment to the guys interviewing me. I said, if those guys can put their lives on the line for me, I can put my body on the line for them. I had no idea that I was going to have to eat those words.
Hill, however, was unwilling to let the injury define him. He underwent surgery to repair the fractures, which included the insertion of a titanium rod to stabilize his leg.
Finally wake up and I come to the realization that this horrible incident happened to the next prodigy, to Miletic's next world champion. We were counting how many months it was going to take to be a world champion in the UFC. A year from now, everybody knows me, world champion. But like Dana White said in the hospital, he says, yeah, you achieve world status, people are going to recognize you, but not the way you want it.
The recovery process was grueling, involving months of physical therapy, strength training, and mental fortitude.
I got all the fame and all the glory, and everybody knows me without any of the belts or the money or all the things that come along with being a world champion. And it was hard. It's still hard. And for so long, I dug this hole and I jumped in, and it's just like, this is where I'm going to lie at. I don't want to get out. I don't want to face the world. I was scared. I was nervous. And the whole time I wondered why this happened to me.
Hill's wrestling background and competitive nature became the foundation of his recovery. Hill often spoke in interviews about his unwavering belief in his ability to return to the cage. He viewed the injury as a temporary setback rather than a career-ending moment. By early 2010, Hill announced that he was ready to fight again, proving that his determination outweighed the doubts of critics and even some medical professionals. And in 2010, Hill made his comeback in regional MMA promotions. Hill competed for various organizations, including XFC and Fight Time promotions, continuing to chase his dream and inspire those around him. Over the next few years, Hill continued to fight, but experienced mixed results. His performances were a testament to his grit, though it was clear he struggled to regain the momentum he had before the injury. Hill's size and reach remained his greatest assets, but the physical and mental toll of his injury lingered in his performances. Despite his challenges, Hill continued to inspire fans with his refusal to give up on his dream. He fought for the love of competition and to provide for his family, becoming a symbol of resilience in the MMA community. In early 2015, Corey Hill began experiencing health issues that were not widely publicized at the time. On May 14th, he was admitted to the hospital, where doctors confirmed he was suffering from pneumonia, a condition he had been diagnosed with weeks earlier. Despite undergoing a lung transplant, complications arose when the lung collapsed and his condition deteriorated rapidly. Placed on life support, Hill later suffered a heart attack, which ultimately led to his passing. His death was confirmed by his manager, leaving the MMA community and his loved ones in mourning. Hill passed away on May 15, 2015, at the age of 36.
We would like to honor a fallen fighter, former UFC and Fight Time Promotions mixed martial artist, Corey Hill, who last fought in this cage in February here at the Magic City Casino, passed away a few weeks ago after a short illness. He is survived by his wife of 10 years, his daughter, and his 2 sons.
The MMA world was shocked and deeply saddened by the news of Corey Hill's passing. Fighters, fans, and UFC officials expressed their condolences and paid tribute to his fighting spirit.
Many did not know, of course we didn't know, that Corey Hill probably fought the last year and a half of his life with an illness that most people did not know about. As I reflect upon his career, I realize that it's hard enough to come into this cage and fight, but to walk through that very door knowing that it could probably be your last fight is just something that very few men are made of.
Dana White, UFC president, described Hill as an incredible person with a huge heart, highlighting the respect Hill had earned throughout the sport. Many fighters shared memories of Hill's determination, particularly his miraculous return to fighting after his leg injury.
I'd still like to say a few words about Corey Hill. When he fought on our show, that was his last fight and he lost. He was just gracious in losing as he was a winner. And I have a lot of respect for him, and I just wish his family well, and his 3 children, and his wife, and we just want to make sure that he rests in peace. Thank you so much, Corey Hill. Instead of you being blessed, you blessed us. Thank you.
His ability to inspire others became a central theme of the tributes that poured in. Corey Hill's story is one of resilience, courage, and determination. While his MMA career may not have reached the heights he initially aspired to, Hill became a symbol of perseverance. Hill left behind a wife and 3 children, who were the center of his life outside the cage. His family and friends remember him as a devoted husband, loving father, and passionate fighter who never gave up on his dreams. His journey from collegiate wrestling to the UFC, his battle back from a career-threatening injury, and his determination to continue competing embody the spirit of a true warrior. Corey Hill's story serves as a reminder to chase dreams fearlessly, no matter the obstacles.